All right, on today's lesson, we're going to talk about how to create a caloric deficit, and we're also going to talk about what are your macros. So, when it comes to caloric deficit, that essentially is just putting yourself in an energy balance to where you're burning more calories than you're consuming. So, how do you create that? That's very important. So, what there are a couple different formulas. There's a million on the internet, but this is what is very simple and what I like to recommend. So, you want to take your body weight and then multiply it by 11 or 12, and that should be your daily caloric intake. Now, if you're someone that needs to lose like 100 plus pounds, instead of taking your current body weight, you can take your goal body weight. So if you're 300 pounds and you need to be around 200, take 200, multiply it by 11, and that should be your daily caloric intake. Okay. And then from there, what I want you to do is prioritize protein. So you want to take your goal body weight and then you want to multiply that goal body weight. So say it was 200 in that example, and you want to multiply it by zero point 0.7 to 1.0. And then you want to have your protein somewhere within that range. So that would bring your protein to anywhere between 140 grams to about 200 grams. And it's better to be higher than lower for most people because it's going to help with satiety. All right. And then the rest of it comes down to, be consistent, make sure you're measuring yourself on the scale. How's your sleep? Measure all these other factors, not just okay, what you're looking like and what's happening on the scale, but think about how do you feel? How are your emotional states? How are your relationships? How's your relationship with food? How's your sleep? There's a lot of other things that are going to start improving whenever you start dialing in your nutrition. So now, when it comes to protein, carbs, and fats, these are the different macronutrients that you have, and essentially proteins and carbs are both 4 grams, 4 calories per gram, and then fats are 9. So within that, you can use a formula to try to dictate, okay, how many calories should I have from each macronutrient? But the biggest thing for most people is just starting off by making sure you're optimizing for protein. And that's why I say hit your protein targets. And there's a couple of reasons why, because protein has the highest thermic effect of food, so that is essentially the amount of energy your body takes to digest, absorb, and process the food that you eat. It has the highest, as you can see right here. So that's why it's the one macronutrient you want to probably have at the highest for most people. And then you see carbs and fats are pretty negligible. And your body needs it in order to recover. So you definitely don't want to be skimping on your protein, and you'll notice that if you do, your recovery is not going to be as well. All right. So those are the things you need to focus on. Make sure you're optimizing for protein and then put yourself in a caloric deficit and then split the rest of the calories between your carbs and fats as you choose.